Imagine for a moment an invisible string subtly tethered to the innermost chambers of your mind. You don't see it, you don't initially feel it, but it's there. And, without your conscious awareness, someone, a figure lurking in the shadows of human interaction, is pulling that string, weaving a web of control over your thoughts, your emotions, your most intimate decisions. This isn't a plot from a psychological thriller. This is the cold, calculated reality of manipulation that master narcissists employ every single day. That persistent, nagging feeling that something is fundamentally wrong, that your reactions are disproportionate, or that your reality is slowly unraveling, but you just can't pinpoint the cause. That agonizing sensation isn't a flaw in you. It is the first and most crucial alarm. Today, in our deep dive into Dark Minds, we are going to rip back the veil and expose the most dangerous secret these shadowy figures wield to exert dominion over you, subverting your autonomy and eroding your inner peace. Prepare yourself, for the knowledge you are about to acquire is not merely informative. It is transformative. This insight has the power to reshape the way you perceive not only the people within your inner circle, but also the very fabric of human interaction itself. This knowledge is not just a tool. It is your impenetrable shield against silent, insidious domination. Stay with us, because the truths we are about to unveil are paramount to your psychological freedom. What you don't know about narcissism, a glimpse beyond the surface. It is absolutely imperative that we dismantle the superficial notions surrounding what narcissism truly is. Discard the images of trivial vanity, of mere pathological narcissism, or narcissistic personality disorder, is a psychological condition of far greater depth and complexity, and infinitely more sinister. It is not about healthy self. It is, in fact, about an insatiable hunger, an existential void of control and validation, disguised beneath an overwhelming facade of grandiosity. Think about it this way. They require constant admiration and attention with the same desperate urgency that you require oxygen to breathe. It is their supply, the very fuel for their existence. However, behind that perfectly sculpted mask of unwavering confidence, self-proclaimed superiority, and magnetic charisma, resides a terrifying existential emptiness. A hollowed-out chamber, utterly devoid of genuine empathy, that screams to be filled. Dr. Ramani Durfasula, one of the most prominent and respected voices in the study of narcissistic abuse, frequently reiterates a fundamental truth. Narcissism is not it is a profound, unbearable self-loathing, skillfully masked by grandiosity and an insatiable need for external validation. This distinction is the master key to unraveling their complexity. They do not love themselves. In truth, they consume themselves internally. And, to fill this corrosive void, they desperately need to consume the energy, attention, and sanity of others. Their grandiosity is a defense mechanism. Their need for admiration is an addictive dependency. The origins of pathological narcissism are multifaceted and intricate, involving a complex interplay of genetic, biological, developmental, and environmental factors. Traumatic experiences in childhood, upbringing where love was conditional on performance, or even an excessive, unstructured admiration, can contribute to the formation of this distorted personality. The narcissist, in essence, never developed a solid, authentic identity. Instead, they constructed a grandiose persona, a false self, to cope with deep internal shame and inadequacy. This persona is designed to manipulate the external world to obtain narcissistic supply. That admiration, attention, and control that validates their existence and prevents the collapse of their fragile self. They do not see themselves as they truly are, but as they wish to be seen, and they compel the world to reflect this distorted image back to them. The narcissist's secret weapon: gaslighting and the inversion of reality. We now arrive at the core of narcissistic control, the most insidious and cruel part of their psychological arsenal. The secret weapon that can, quite literally, shatter your sanity and your perception of reality. I am talking about this term, derived from a play and film of the same name where a husband manipulates his wife into doubting her own sanity, is the quintessential narcissistic tactic. Gaslighting is not merely a lie. It is a systematic, progressive campaign to distort your reality, orchestrated with surgical precision. They don't just deny facts, they rewrite history. They make you question your most recent memories, your most vivid perceptions, the validity of your own emotions, and, ultimately, the very integrity of your mind. Phrases like, "You're crazy," "That never happened," "You're making it up," "You're too sensitive," or "You're imagining things." These are not accidental outbursts of anger or careless remarks. They are calculated blows, meticulously planned to destabilize you, to erode your self-trust, and ultimately, to break your resistance. Consider the cumulative impact of these phrases. Over time, they lead you to doubt what you saw, heard, and felt. You begin to believe that you are to blame, that you are the problem, that your reactions are exaggerated. The narcissist projects their own flaws, insecurities, and toxic behaviors onto you, blaming you for the chaos and dysfunction they themselves instigated. It is a relentless psychological war, fought in the corridors of your own perception, and if you don't know the rules of the game, if you don't identify the tactics, you will inevitably become the victim, trapped in a reality manufactured by your tormentor. They become your sole point of reference for reality, and this grants them absolute control. Other domination tactics from the narcissist's arsenal: a web of illusions. While gaslighting is the primary weapon, the narcissist's arsenal is vast and multifaceted, designed to weave a complex web of illusions and dependency. Love bombing, the flood of affection. In the beginning, the narcissist places you on a pedestal. You are the most incredible, beautiful, intelligent person they have ever met. There's an overwhelming deluge of attention, praise, gifts, declarations of love, and an accelerated pace of commitment. This creates an illusion of intense, deep connection, one that is highly addictive. It's the honeymoon phase that draws you in, makes you drop your guard, and renders you vulnerable for the subsequent stages. You feel special, unique, finally understood, and that's precisely what they want you to feel. Devaluation, the fall from the pedestal. Once you are hooked, the mask begins to slip, the initial shine fades. Criticisms begin, subtle at first, then more direct and cruel. They compare you unfavorably to others, diminish your achievements, mock your vulnerabilities. The goal is to destroy your self-esteem, making you doubt your worth, so that you become dependent on their validation, which is now sporadic and conditional. The pedestal you were on is demolished, leaving you disoriented and desperate to regain it. Triangulation, the game of third parties. This tactic involves bringing a third person into your dynamic. The narcissist might unfavorably compare you to this person, create rivalry, or use this person to relay messages, avoiding direct confrontation. This leaves you feeling insecure, jealous, constantly vying for their attention and validation. It's a way to deflect blame and keep everyone in a state of imbalance and uncertainty. Disguised envy, the flame that tries to extinguish your light. Narcissists envy the happiness, success, and authenticity of others because they cannot genuinely experience these qualities themselves. Your light, your joy, your achievements blind and threaten them. Therefore, they attempt to extinguish it, whether through disparaging remarks, subtle sabotage, or minimizing your accomplishments. They cannot stand for you to shine brighter than they do. Isolation, cutting your connections subtly, or sometimes overtly. They attempt to isolate you from your support network. Friends, family. They might criticize your loved ones, create conflicts, or simply monopolize your time. The objective is to make you their sole source of validation and reality, making you even more dependent. Your shield, how to counterattack and reclaim control. You are not condemned to be a victim. Your greatest power, your most potent shield, is knowledge. By understanding these tactics, you are already one step ahead. Now, how to counterattack and, more importantly, how to reclaim and maintain control over your own life and sanity. Trust your gut, your inner radar. Ignore the voice that tells you to doubt yourself. If your body tenses, if your intuition screams danger, listen. Your gut feeling is your most primary and effective shield. It picked up on signals before your rational mind could process them. Trust it. It is your internal compass for truth. Document the facts, anchoring yourself in reality. Keep a journal, whether physical or digital. Note down events, conversations, unfulfilled promises, phrases that made you doubt yourself. This is your proof. This directly combats gaslighting, firmly anchoring you in the reality of the facts. When the narcissist tries to rewrite history, you will have your record. Establish unbreakable boundaries. The wall of protection. This is, arguably, the most challenging step, yet the most vital. Learn to say no, without guilt, without excessive justification. Boundaries are your personal borders. Protect your time, your energy, your values, and your dignity, as if they were your very life, because, in many respects, they are. A firm, unexplained no is a powerful act of seek external support, the strength of the network. Do not face this battle alone. Talk to trusted friends, family members who know you well. Most importantly, seek the guidance of a therapist specializing in narcissism and abuse. A professional can validate your experiences, provide coping strategies, and help you rebuild yourself. You are not alone in this fight, and having a support network is the greatest weapon against the isolation the narcissist seeks to impose. Disengage if necessary. The victory of retreat. In cases of severe or continuous abuse, the only real victory may be total withdrawal, disconnection. This is not failure. It is an ultimate act of your peace, your mental health, and your integrity are worth more than any futile attempt to fix or change a narcissist. Prioritize your own survival and well-being above all else. No contact, when possible, is the most effective tool to break the cycle of abuse. Call to action, incisive and transformative. This video wasn't just about informing, it was about awakening. Did it shine a light into the darker corners of your own experience? Did you recognize these disturbing patterns in your own relationships, or in those of someone you care deeply about, then there is no doubt. This is a sign, an urgent call to action. Share your experience in the comments below. Your story, your truth, could be the light, the validation, and the courage. Someone else needs to begin their own journey of liberation. Your voice matters. Do not be a silent victim of invisible control any longer. Enough of having your mind and your life dominated. Reclaim full control over your reality, your peace, your power. The time is now. Click the subscribe button now, hit the bell icon, and truly liberate yourself from the invisible shackles of manipulation. Your journey of empowerment, of rediscovering your own strength and sanity, begins at this very moment. Be prepared, for in our next deep dive into Dark Minds, we will reveal the most terrifying psychological tactics used by cults to control the minds of thousands. Are you ready to face the truth and defend your freedom?